I woke up a bit ago and I decided I should organize my bank. And when I did that, I noticed I have a bunch of silver ore and I have some raw fish. I could have skipped the cook and grind completely that we did for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or however long that took. And also, like, I could have cut the smithing grind, not in half, but I could have, like, reduced a third of it or something with these silver ores. I guess you live and you learn. For what possible reason am I in this place? Well, for the whole day today, I've been grinding out fire making. I'm 87 by now, and as usual, I just got distracted. I was thinking of something to do, and now I have to do it. So what's the thing I was thinking about? Well, it's these juniper trees. Now, I wouldn't blame you if you had never even seen these, because they're kind of in a corner of the map that you rarely go to, and even if you do go to this area, you're probably not paying attention to the type of trees that you see. So what are these juniper trees used for? Well, it's a piece of content that pretty much no one does, which is the charcoal furnace. The charcoal furnace can turn these juniper trees into charcoal. What do you use the charcoal for? Well, you use it to make dynamite. What's dynamite? Where do you use dynamite? At the blast mine. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever done blast mine. It's one of my favorite pieces of content in the whole game, and it's gonna be somewhat useful for my ironman. It's not gonna be like amazing or anything, but it's gonna be a fun thing to do for a while, and I'm gonna be able to get these saltpeter deposits in the future. I'm gonna get sulfur deposits in the future, but right now I'm gonna start stockpiling charcoal. Now, you don't really need to do it too much, like you can get a decent amount of material for blast mining in a few days, but it's a time-gated thing, so I would prefer to get started on it like as soon as possible. Honestly, this might be my favorite low-level woodcutting method. Like, I might actually come here to get to like a slightly higher woodcutting level at some point if I need to, because it's super AFK. There's no dropping your inventory because there's a bank deposit box right here, like right next to the trees. And it has very decent XP drops. Like, in all honesty, this might be the early game method of woodcutting for me. And I'm really glad I did this content, although I guess that's like kind of the point of this account, to like generally explore content that I don't do on my main. But yeah, this is definitely underappreciated. Like, if you guys need some earlier woodcutting levels and you can't do blister wood, and you don't like any of the other methods you have at like a lower level, maybe come check this place out if you want to be like chill somewhere, I guess. So I've been camping this place for a bit, and seems like I get around 25k XP per hour, maybe a bit more than that, maybe a bit less. But yeah, it's super decent. Like, it's not efficient by any means, but for how chill it is, I'm definitely not upset. Now, if I had a rune axe, I would probably get like way more XP per hour, like 35k, maybe even more, which would be incredibly nice, although necessarily less AFK. So yeah, like if you guys ever want to do something that's just inefficient but like really chill, if you're like me and you just absolutely can't stand teaks, because teaks are by far my least favorite like grind in the game, like in all honesty. It's only really rivaled by like super early game fishing, but at least super early game fishing is like over super soon, but like you have to do teaks for like hundreds of hours if you want to be efficient or something like that. But yeah, there's really no reason for me to train woodcutting right now, so I'm just gonna take the logs. Actually, I should put them on my useful things tab and see if I can use them on the furnace. Let's see what happens. There they go. Can I use noted logs? Like, I'm guessing I probably can't, but it would be good if I could. Or it would be good if I... Wait, you can't withdraw them noted. I thought I was misclicking, but like it turns out you genuinely just can't get them noted, so I guess that answers that question. And now I have to light them. I think that needs a tinderbox. Okay. So I pay this guy, then I light the furnace, then the other furnace, and we're gonna have charcoal soon. I don't know how many people have ever done this, like, it's such an obscure piece of content, but, you know, will be useful someday. Anyway, time to go back to jail and do some winter toad. There's an absurd amount of people here right now. Like, if you guys ever saw like any of the group Ironman launch videos, you've seen how many people are at Winterthur, and it's like genuinely unbelievable. So this is what I do when I arrive late. I get myself a rejuvenation potion, and then I just kind of hang out until the next round starts, because then I'll have the rejuvenation potion for pretty much free. I'm in this area again. Yesterday I was doing Winterthur for pretty much the whole day. I'm at 89 fire making right now, and it was honestly turning my brain to mush. So at the end of the day, I decided I need to do anything that isn't Winterthur. So I thought I would come and start working on saltpeter. Now, if you were to ask me, like, hey, is getting dynamite worth it in an Ironman? Is like actually making your own like dynamite something that I should do? The answer for me would be a pretty unequivocal no. If you want to get into blast mining on an iron, honestly just wait until you get into chambers, because you get thousands of dynamite from there, and you will never have to worry about making it. However, the activity itself is in a really weird place for me, because it's just too tedious and too annoying to do for like any purpose, but also it's not too tedious and too annoying to be fun. So like, I'm enjoying my time with it, but I can definitely understand that it's absolutely not worth doing. Like, I'm basically just wasting my time on something that's a cool novelty to me, which is worth it for me, but it's not really something that I think most people look for in their activities. Although, honestly, I might just use the saltpeter I have banked right now for Hosidia's favor. I can always get some more for dynamite. Hit 90 fire making a bit ago, and I've been having a ton of fun. The world feels completely alive because of just how many people are doing group Ironman, so I've been able to just shitpost in Winterthur chat, have a lot of fun. So I decided I wanted to be a bit more sweaty, so I did the World Hop method. It was actually a lot of fun. I don't really like waiting if I'm not like doing anything on the side, and right now I'm just kind of listening to a podcast, so I didn't really have any reason to not do the World Hop method, and yeah, I might do it for a bit more. Like, it's not phenomenal, like it's slightly more efficient, I think, because you kind of have to be fletching and stuff, which is less efficient, but you also don't like have to go through like the waiting period, so I don't know how much more efficient it is or how much less efficient it is. All I know is it's kind of fun, so I'm going to do it for a bit more. So if you don't know what the World Hop method is, you get to the point where you finish the Winterthur game, but then instead of waiting for the next game, you check this Twitch page, which is Winterthur Scouter, and it tells you the percentages that all the worlds are on. And I can see that the US Winterthur world is currently at 66%, or 62% accounting for a delay. And I can just hop on here, and I can just start doing the next round of Winterthur without having to wait for Winterthur to come back on the other world. Now, this does require fletching to actually be able to make the 500 point threshold, which you need to get like a solid XP rate. However, I think it's very much worth it because it's just more fun for me, personally. An interesting thing is how different the cultures and different regional worlds are. Like, if you go to the US world, it's completely unbearable. Like, it's not really tolerable to look at the chat. When you go to the German world, it's like nice people are speaking like 5 different... Oh my god, I just died. But when you go into the German worlds, people are just talking 5 different languages, and when people are talking in English, they're pretty chill. Did you go to the UK world? And, oh yeah, I don't have recipe for disaster. Anyway, it's a spectrum. The German world is the best world too. So I haven't really been playing my iron for a few days because I discovered mahogany homes on my main, and I absolutely hate normal construction. Like, I can't stand the menuing, I can't stand anything about it, in all honesty. And I've always been turned off from mahogany homes because I thought it was like for casuals, but turns out there's actually a lot of depth to it. There's a lot of like skill expression you can do. So I've been having a lot of fun, and I basically just haven't been playing my iron. But I thought that I might as well just come play for a bit, actually do the charcoal, and we have 6,000 now, and we can just keep mining saltpeter. I mined some more after the last clip I recorded, but of course that's not anywhere close to the 6,000 juniper charcoal, and beyond that I want 750 saltpeter to get the Hosidia's favor to 100%, because that's how that math works out. So whenever I'm like doing really hard AFKing, so I'm not doing mahogany homes on my main, I want to be mining saltpeter. Like, I could also do Winterthur, of course, like it's relatively AFK, But I would rather do winter thought paying attention to it because that would just give me more XP. And I gather about 1200 saltpeter per hour, I think, which means I still have like 4.5 hours to go until I get the amount of saltpeter I need. And overall, I would say that definitely don't make dynamite on an iron. If you're playing an iron and you want to do blast mine, go unlock Chambers of Serac first. It's going to be a long grind that you have to do anyway, and you're gonna get tons of dynamite. However, there is a specific situation where this process might be worth it for you, which is going for 65% low Akinch favor if you have a low smithing level. Because mining sulfur is a massive pain, you can skip a part of that process if you prepare your juniper charcoal, which is super easy, get some balls of wool, get some pots, which you can just buy, and then after that you can basically just do some sulfur mining and some saltpeter mining, and you can get the 65% low Akinch favor relatively easily from everything I've seen. But yeah, anyway, normally if you just want to do blast mine, go do cox. Although honestly, there would be a very simple way to make this entire thing not be dead content. So first of all, you can make it so when you have 100% low Akinch favor, you no longer take damage from the sulfur clouds. Because you can save spot them right now, but you have to go out of your way to do it, and it would be just so much nicer if you basically automatically save spotted the clouds once you have the 100% favor. Because for most people, doing sulfur mining after that level just isn't worth it, right? And the second thing that would be really useful is to make saltpeter give some type of XP. Now, it could give you some farming XP, like a token amount, or some relatively okay amount of mining XP, like maybe 10 XP per mine, like nothing crazy, but like just enough to make it like worth doing, like even hypothetically. And I think that would be enough to make dynamite viable. Like, it wouldn't even need like some drastic overhaul, but just some small tweaks, basically quality of life, and this would just be worthwhile content after that. Like, I think that would be like about fair, because you could get like 16,000 mining XP per hour if it gave like 10 per mine, and like that isn't even that much. Like, it's not even the most AFK thing you can do. So I finally got enough saltpeter to make all the charcoal into dynamite and also complete the Hosidius favor. So I've been back at Winter Toad. I'm halfway to 92 fire making, but I'm gonna take a small break to gather all the wool and the pots I'll need. I don't exactly know what the best methods for those two are, but I'm gonna give it my best shot, and hopefully I can get those items relatively painlessly. Again, I'm not really sure, and it might be like a horrible grind. I did a bit of research on buying pots and buying wool, and this is supposedly the best place to buy pots. Now, the best place to buy wool is on Natisnut, which requires doing the Fremenic trials first, which means that grind will be postponed until I'm done with fire making. However, I can still buy the pots right now, and with this inventory, I never have to buy pots again, at least hopefully. I mean, I'll have to buy some for Rag and Bone Man, but at least for this grind, this is all the pots I'll ever have to buy. It wasn't actually that bad. I thought that I would really hate Shopscape in general, but turns out it's actually kind of fine. Now, when I'm inevitably gonna have to do a ton of wool topping for like wool and stuff, that might be more of a pain. The last thing I want to do before I get back to Winter Toad is get myself 80% Hosidius favor, and I have to push some plows to start off with. I actually remember how back in the day you didn't really have like the favor overlay disabled by default, so the moment you got to Zeya, you were just looking at the entire favor overlay, and it was really distracting and you had to manually turn it off. Now, it's nice when you're actively grinding out favor, but I guess I can just have this tab open anyway, and I don't really need it, but you know, that's a cool thing that they changed, I guess. So I got myself 5% favor, and now I just have to buy some fertilizer. So let's see, do I have to how much does the price increase? Not that much, it seems. And yeah, now I just have to make 10 minty sulfuric fertilizer, whatever the fuck it's called. It's getting way too late to do commentary, but I just wanted to say that for me, the worst part about playing a main is the fact that skilling and combat and PVM are like interchangeable progression ladders. Like, you're always afraid to spend money on skilling or whatever, because that money could be spent on like a bandage chestplate or whatever the fuck you want to get. And I really like how in ironman mode, whenever I spend money, I'm like, good, that's the purpose of that money. I'm never like, afraid that I made a mistake or I fucked up, or oh, now I'm gonna not be able to afford a whip anymore, or whatever the fuck concerns I had on my mind. And it's great. It's honestly the best part of the game mode, at least thus far. Like I'm sure I'll like fall in love with ironman even further once I get to like actual PVM. But that's an amazing part of the game mode for me. Good morning, gamers. I AFK'd Motherload mine last night, but before that I made 750 sulfurous fertilizer. But that was actually a miscalculation. It turns out it actually needed 850. I thought that the quest gave a 20% favor, but it actually gives you 10%, which means I need to get 10% more. So I'm gonna rectify the mistake in a bit, but before I get that, I wanna do some more mining. Honestly, this is the slowest mining has felt on any account for me. I'm kinda used to just like going pretty hard at mining, so when I'm not really focusing on it, it's like, oh, this skill is so slow because I'm not doing like whole days of mining back to back. But you know, it is how it is. I'm just gonna AFK MLM for a while until I find some place that's more relevant to AFK. And now I have all the sulfurous fertilizer I need, so I'm just gonna have to turn it in. So I just talked to this guy and donate my fertilizer, and 90% does it his favor. Nice. Still on the fire making grind, and I need another break. I'm almost a 94 fire making, and I would really like to mine sulfur. Now, if you don't know, dynamite is made in two parts. The first part does not require the balls of wool, which means that I can start making dynamite once I can mine sulfur. To mine sulfur we need a gas mask or the face mask, but I think it's going to be more useful to get the gas mask, because in order to get the gas mask you have to do Plague City, and Plague City is just going to be generally useful for my account anyway. So thanks for the gas mask. I'm gonna go mine sulfur now instead of looking for your daughter. Hello, your parents say you saw what happened to Elena. Sniff. Yes, I was walking near the southeast corner when I saw Elena walking by. I was about to run to greet her when some men jumped out. They shoved a sack over her head and dragged her into a building. Which building? It was the boarded up building with no windows in the southeast corner of West Sardoin. Damn, this little girl is really obsessed with directions. Thank you for giving me such precise fucking instructions on which cardinal direction I have to go to find the woman. It's really helpful. Okay, I finished Plague City, got the teleport unlocked, and now it's time to go back to Zaya and start mining sulfur. Never mind, I need to buy some runes to use the spider safe spot, and I know that there's a rune shop in Lycarsius, but I think it has a favor requirement, so I don't think I can actually use it, so I'm just gonna buy some rune packs here, and a staff, and then I should be able to cast Confuse, which should aggro the spider, which in turn would allow me to safe spot the sulfur clouds. Okay, I fucked up a bit. I need body runes instead of mind runes, which is literally not a big deal, like I'll need mind runes later anyway. But yeah, now I have to go back and buy some body runes, because as you can see, the Confuse spell requires body runes, which I've never actually used that before, I don't think. Or actually maybe I have the one time I tried 2-tick fishing, but that was fucking ages ago. This is my second trip at the sulfur mines. The safe spot is super easy and super fast, like I thought it would be more of a problem than it is, but turns out it's actually just really simple to set up. So what you do is you aggro the spider, you stand on this tile, and then you just mine the sulfur, and then you wait for it to respawn, then you mine it again, and you repeat this 200 times or something to get all the sulfur I need. Now this will get us close to like 60 mining, which will be nice. It'll also get us 100% lava kinch favor, but that won't be a big deal, because with the sulfur we mine, we would have made the dynamite anyway, which would have been a way more easier way to get the fucking lava kinch favor. But it is how it is. I'm gonna be stuck here for a long time. I'm definitely not gonna do this grind straight. Like I could if I really wanted to, but it would take me like something like 10 hours or something, and in all honesty I don't want to be here for like 10 hours straight. So I'm just gonna do what I have to do. I'm just gonna hang out here, do my fucking grind, go back to Wintertot, do some Wintertot, come back here, get some variety in my life, and yeah, end up with all of my goals fulfilled. Oh gosh, I've never done a proper outro before. I just ended the last episode when the grinds ended, and the first episode, we're not gonna talk about the first episode. But yeah, anyway, with how long all of these grinds take, like with how long saltpeter took, and with how long sulfur will inevitably take, I don't really want to put all of that content in one episode, especially because I'm also doing 99 fire making. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna end the episode here. In the next episode, we're gonna assemble the dynamite, we're gonna finish Winter Todd, and since we finish Winter Todd in the next episode, that means we'll get to level up our HP, which means we'll get to do a bunch of quests. So yeah, sorry for the spotty commentary. I've been playing a lot at night, and I get like incomprehensibly worse at commentating at night. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff. I feel ashamed of saying all that, but you know, whatever. Yeah, that's the video.